Mark in Las Vegas, Nevada, listening on Immaculate Heart Radio. Mark, your question for Karlo Broussard.
Hi. Good afternoon. My question is, how do you answer a person who would say that Jesus is not consubstantial with the Father, just because you have passages like Jesus was sent by the Father and something about, who is sent is less than the one who sends, or how Jesus says that something about the Father is greater than I.
Yes.
So how do I answer these things? Thank you.
Okay, very good question, Mark. The passage that you're referring to is John chapter 14, verse 28, where Jesus does say, the Father is greater than I. And, Sai, for many, especially our Jehovah's Witness friends out there, they will turn to this passage to say, you see, this shows that Jesus is not equal to the Father because he says the Father is greater than he. So how do we respond? Well, there's basically three responses. Number one, as Aquinas and many other theologians throughout the centuries have argued, we can say that Jesus is subject to the Father by virtue of his humanity. Remember, Jesus has two natures. He has a divine nature, that means he can do and say everything that goes with being God, and he has a human nature, which means he can do and say everything that goes with being a human. As such, Jesus can say as a man, as a human being, the Father is greater than I. That one I being used in reference to his divine nature as a human being. This is why he could say, I go to your God and to my God when he's talking to Mary Magdalene. He can pray to the Father. You are the only true God, right? He's not praying to himself, he's praying to the Father. So as man, he is subject to the Father and thus can say the Father is greater than I. Secondly, greatness doesn't necessarily mean absolute inequality by virtue of nature. So, for example, Jesus says in Matthew 11:11 that, John the Baptist, there's nobody who has been born that's greater than John the Baptist. Does that mean that John the Baptist is some sort of superhuman that's superior than us as human beings? No. So greatness can refer to roles that are being played and a relationship and order and roles. So it doesn't necessarily mean inequality by nature. And finally, here's where we get a little bit theological, Si, and Mark, if you're still listening out there. And that is, even Aquinas would say, by virtue of the Son's relation to the Father in the Godhead, in the triune Godhead, the Son can say the Father is greater than I. Because in theology, we say that the Father is the first principle of life within the Trinity. That doesn't mean the Son is created. That doesn't mean that the Son is, the perfect creation of the Father. What it means is that the Son is Son only in relation to the Father. The Son is begotten. The Father is the begetter. And within that relation, Aquinas and others would say it is appropriate to say that the Son is subject to the Father and the Father is greater than the Son, not because of nature, but by virtue of the relation between the two. So that's a bit deep, but that's how Aquinas would explain it.